Hey guys, so this this is just kind of an update. I haven't done an update in a while. I think the last time I did an update was around 16 weeks. Not really sure, but sorry, I'm a little stuffed up and gross because I'm cold. But we had our anatomy scan yesterday. At 19 weeks and 6 days. So as I'm filming this today, I'm 20 weeks. And this won't go up until we have more of an update. So this is more for just my information, or like so I can look back on it later. But yeah, so we had our anatomy scan. I wasn't really nervous going into it. For just some reason I just felt like, our NT scan, the cat is moving this camera. Our NT scan looked good. Our panorama blood work looked good, although that only tests for a few things. So, but still, it was reassuring. So everything looked good, except for the fact that they couldn't see her stomach, or stomach bubble, they called it. So that doesn't mean she doesn't have a stomach, but it just means that it wasn't filled up with fluid. So she either hadn't swallowed in a while. This cat is killing me. Hold on. Sorry. She hadn't swallowed in a while, swallowed amniotic fluid to fill up her stomach. Like she must have just emptied it before the ultrasound and it hadn't filled up, or she hadn't swallowed while we were in the ultrasound. We were in there for a while, like 30 to 45 minutes. And by the end of it, she still hadn't filled up her stomach, or they couldn't see it. So we have to go back for a follow-up ultrasound in a week. She was really, really active the entire time. She's always active during ultrasounds. I don't think she likes like the pressure from the ultrasound wand or the Doppler, because she's always like kicking the Doppler or the ultrasound wand. But she was super active. Like she didn't stop moving the entire time. In the ultrasound techs, there were two of them in there, because I think one was training, and they were both commenting on like how crazy she was in there. And also she was like completely like bent in half. Like she had her hands up by her face, and then she had her feet up by her face too. So she was like moving all around. So it was hard. It took him a long time to get all the images of the heart also. So they were focusing on that a lot, because the baby needs to be still, and she wasn't being very still like at all. So because she was bent in half, I'm hoping that maybe they just couldn't see the stomach because she was like so crunched in. Even if it wasn't full, that doesn't necessarily mean anything's wrong. They said most of the time when you come back for a follow-up ultrasound, they'll see it right away. And it's just like a timing or position issue. So I'm really hopeful that that is going to be the case. I asked, if they don't see it next time, what does that mean? And the ultrasound tech just said, they'll talk to you about it then. So that's never a comforting thing to hear. So of course I Googled it, which was, there was no way I was not going to Google it. Just that's who I am. And it's a very scary situation. It's possible that the baby's esophagus just kind of stops and doesn't connect to the baby's stomach. So she either isn't swallowing, or if she is, it's not going into her stomach, so it's not filling up. So that would have to be corrected by surgery immediately after birth, or within a few hours after birth. It's very serious, but there is a big range of severity in cases. Like no two cases are the same, really. Like it can be, I wouldn't say minor, but there can be very severe cases, or maybe one surgery fixes it. But in severe cases, like even into toddlerhood, they're still requiring surgeries and being fed by a G-tube and all that stuff. So it's, you go down the rabbit hole. Sorry. Ugh. I'm so snotty today. You go down the rabbit hole of Google and, 90% of the time in these anecdotes that I'm reading on like Baby Center or What to Expect, places like that, they say, people are freaked out because they're in the same situation I am. And the next ultrasound they go back to, they see it right away. So that's great. And I'm really hoping that I'm one of those cases. But, with our history, when you've been on the receiving end of bad news before, it's a lot easier to think that that's going to be the case again. So it's going to be a long week. I go from being terrified that it's worst case scenario to thinking, well, I'm sure it's fine. It just sucks. The waiting sucks. So we're just gonna hope that we see it and we move past this and we don't have to worry about anything else, because she looks great otherwise. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm just sitting down to record this. I don't, if it's fine next week, I don't want to like brush past the fact that we went through this week of worry, because it's real and that's just what we're going through. Pregnancy is scary and it sucks sometimes. Especially after Macy's pregnancy, it just always feel like it always feels like I'm just waiting for something bad to happen. I was very nervous during Lucas's pregnancy. Of course, everything was great, but until I had him in my arms, I was always worrying that just one day something bad was going to happen. Because now I'm the person that bad things happen to. I'm just hoping that we're not the people that really awful things happen to us twice. Just wanted to film this, and next time you see us will be after the next ultrasound, and I will hopefully have a very happy update. So, fingers crossed. Hey guys, so it is a little over a week since I filmed that last clip from our anatomy scan, and we went last, and I'm sorry if you hear background noise, my dryer is running and then Paige is singing to herself, so, but we went to the follow-up ultrasound exactly a week later from our anatomy scan, so that was last Thursday and today is Monday. And I was so nervous about it. I was actually, I was definitely nervous throughout the week. But after I filmed that clip, I just felt a lot better. I think I just got it all out, what I was thinking, and just kind of, that helped me process things. And I'm not a super spiritual religious person, but I did a lot of praying that week, mostly just for like peace, like to get through the week without making myself sick with anxiety, because that's definitely something that could have happened. So I actually had a pretty okay week. The week went by pretty quickly just because we're always so busy. But anyway, we went to our ultrasound last Thursday, and I was so nervous. I like could barely eat lunch that day. But we went in and they saw the baby's stomach filled up with fluid right away. So immediately I was like, I just felt so much better. And the stomach was a normal size. Everything looked perfectly normal. And it was just that, you know, she had emptied her stomach and hadn't been swallowing during the ultrasound, and she didn't feel like it at that moment, so that's fine. But everything looked perfectly normal. Her growth looks great. Everything looks perfectly healthy, which I am so thrilled about. Obviously, I mean, you couldn't get better news. Sorry, I keep checking the baby monitor. Lucas is napping. But so I'm so happy about that. And I'm so just relieved for hopefully the rest of the pregnancy. We don't have any other scares. I do have a fetal echo coming up to check the baby's heart, which is standard for all my pregnancies since I'm high risk. And I'm hopeful that that will go well since her heart looked great at the anatomy scan. The tech did say that, there's my little photo bomber. The tech did say that she is a good sized baby. She was measuring about a week ahead at the anatomy scan. She was 13 ounces at a little before 20 weeks. So I think that's just not too crazy, but just about a week ahead. She didn't give me any specific measurements for her weight or her specific size or anything at that follow-up ultrasound, just because that wasn't what the purpose of it was. But she also said my fluid levels look perfectly normal, which I was happy to hear, because in Lucas's pregnancy, I think it was a 24-week ultrasound, so a little farther along than this, but my fluid levels were measuring high at that point, so that pointed to gestational diabetes, especially with my history. And then I went on to fail the glucose test later that week. So I'm hopeful that that means that I will maybe pass my glucose test when I do it again at 28 weeks. I don't know if anybody remembers, but I did a glucose test at 12 weeks and I passed with a really good number. So that was shocking to me, but it's been great so far. This pregnancy, aside from this scare, has been really uneventful, and I'm really hoping that it stays that way, because this is completely abnormal for everything to be normal, and I don't have diabetes or I don't have any other crazy things going on in Lucas's pregnancy. Right at this point, I was hospitalized for my potassium being low, and my muscles just kind of stopped working, and that made me go into the hospital, because that was very odd, obviously. I went to walk upstairs and I would just fall down. My legs would just collapse from underneath me. So that was just a weird fluke thing, not related to pregnancy, but just weird stuff tends to happen to me during pregnancy. But this one has been great, and I'm really thankful for that, and I'm crossing my fingers that that continues to be the case. But anyway, I just wanted to update you guys. So now this video will be going up with all of the previous clips that I filmed. Or it might have just been one clip, I don't know. But yeah, so this will be my kind of 20 to 21 week update. I'm 21 weeks and 3 days today, I think. Something like that. So yeah, I guess I'll just show you my belly. It's pretty big now. Let's see if I can just stand up and show you. I have to stand on my tippy toes. This tank top is really long. I bought a large, figuring I would grow into it, but it's from the front. So yeah, getting big. But that's pretty normal for a 5th pregnancy, and I'm only 5 feet tall, so my belly gets big pretty quickly because I just don't have room for it to go anywhere but out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am so relieved that everything looks good, and like I said, I hope it continues to go that way. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave us a comment down below, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye!